You can interact with us at TV47 Kenya across all social media platforms. But first, let's take a look at the highlights. Tonight, Isiolo residents appeal on the government to help them mitigate effects of drought.
Half of the people who go to hospital for any reason, not for mental problems, but for any reason, half of them have depression.
50% of Kenyans who visit healthcare facilities seeking for medical services are depressed.
It is only through the bottom-up economic model that we can give jobs to ordinary citizens.
Deputy President William Ruto takes his hustler campaigns to Nakuru as Raila pitches tent in Bungoma County. Welcome to the broadcast. Minimbesa is our sign language interpreter. I am Muthoni Maina. Now, the pastoral community living in Isiolo County has urged the government to reintroduce its off-plan program meant to caution them from the losses arising from the death of their livestock due to the drought that continues to ravage the area. According to the community, desperate efforts to salvage the situation by selling their livestock have proven futile as they are forced to sell their livestock at throwaway prices. And as David Muthoka reports, the situation could worsen as the crisis deepens in Isiolo County.
One carcass here, another there. These are the scenes that welcome you to Isiolo County, one of the regions worst hit by drought in the country. It doesn't get any better for 80-year-old Hassan Lesengeleki, who has had to watch his cattle drop dead one after another. His hopes that his last surviving cow will weather the storm now hang on this walking stick, the very walking stick that the weight of losing 30 cows in such a short span leans on.
Peke yake ngine nakufa karibu samani 30. Hii sasa nabaki ngine nakusha, napea majani, natafuta majani ile nanunua kwa shambani, na hii sasa bana sikia nakufa tu.
And as the situation moves from worst to worst, other pastoralists are also counting losses resulting from the deaths of their livestock.
Ilinyesha mwezi wa 3 kidogo, sehemu kidogo ilinyesha mwezi wa 3 bandi ya kina, bandi ya juu ya milima. Hii sehemu yetu mwezi wa 12 hakuna mvua, mwezi 12 maka moja.
Kiangazi ya leo ni kali hata kuliko ile kiangazi iliyopita yote. Mifugo imekufa kwa wingi na binadamu wako na shida na iko watoto wako malnutrition iko mingi sana.
They are now calling on the government to reintroduce the off-plan program, insisting that other buyers have been capitalizing on the drought to buy cattle and goats from them at cheap prices.
Unajua wale wanunuaji anataka ile mbuzi mnono, na sisi mbuzi yetu hapana nuna siku hizi. Kwa hivyo pesa unaweza peleka mbuzi kubwa anaambua wa 2,000 unatupa kwa ajili ya njaa.
Ni nzuri wakati huu serikali iweze kutumia rasilimali ile iko nayo kuhakikisha kwamba watu hawatakufa.
Water remains the biggest challenge for the majority of the residents, and the situation may worsen in the coming days. This amid fears that the rains could delay ahead of the short rain season, subjecting them to further misery. David Muthoka, TV47.
It is indeed a devastating situation in Isiolo County with piped down dreams as the residents are in dire need amidst of their problems so far. Now, moving on, the Ministry of Health now says 50% of patients who seek for medical services in hospitals are mentally ill. As Laveno Tieno now reports of the cases, only 1 out of 4 is properly diagnosed and treated.
50% of every patient that walks into any hospital seeking treatment suffer from depression, but only 4% of this entire population get proper diagnosis and eventually treated.
Half of the people who go to hospital for any reason, not for mental problems, but for any reason, half of them have depression. All those people with depression, only 4% of them had been diagnosed with depression. 4%.
In 2019, a task force was constituted after the president declared mental health to be a crisis. However, since then, little has been achieved. Director of Mental Health Services, Simon Juguna, says that the government is planning to construct more mental institutions in Nairobi, introduce telephone medicine, train more health workers, in addition to the Kenya Mental Health Plan Act to strengthen health system to ensure mental well-being.
One thing we are doing, this hospital is going through a major innovation. There is even a plan to have another new hospitals within Nairobi. At the Gom area, there's a lot of advanced stage in terms of the plans and doing resource mobilization on that. Again, we are also working on using technology as a way of Kenyans accessing services. More to that, we are having more and more healthcare workers being trained on mental health. This Madara hospital is a teaching hospital. I can tell you the numbers of students who are enrolling for courses either as psychiatrists, mental health nurses, and psychologists has really increased. So we are having more and more health workers, people training in this area.
As a ministry, we have been working closely, I think, in the Department of NCDs. There have also been efforts to improve infrastructure for mental health. That is why you are seeing a lot of construction works going on around here. And I think in the near future, you'll be seeing more and more.
Kenyans have been urged to come out and speak about the psychological problems to do away with the stigma which has become rampant within families, with majority even abandoning their patients at the Mathari Teaching and Referral Mental Hospital.
Because once you have a mental illness, we know there's the issue of the stigma and discrimination, which pushes you down. We call it the drift, the social drift principle.
To reduce stigma around mental illnesses, and we need to encourage our communities to come out and speak and speak. The more we speak, the more we talk about it, the more we encourage one another to speak, the more it will become something that the community embraces.
The neglect we show for these people who come here for help is the same neglect we show for the most vulnerable people in this country. We only care about the people we see out there. We only care about the best among ourselves, and we show very little care for those among us who need the greatest help.
To reduce health disparity that has been witnessed in the country, Nyangasi has recommended that private insurance companies equally cover physical and mental illnesses, with Kenyans being urged to register for NHIF cover, which is expected to cover mental health.
Through NHIF, we will also be able to come up with a package which not only covers inpatient but also covers outpatient. And this is within the agenda of the universal health coverage. So we'll ensure that once you have your NHIF card, you can access mental health service wherever you are.
Lavin Atieno, TV 47.
Now on to political matters, as Deputy President William Ruto today took his hustler narrative to Nakuru, where he chided the BBI proponents over their plan to expand the government through a process which he termed unconstitutional, insisting that more finances can be channeled to counties and constituencies without expanding the government. As Elizabeth Mutuku reports, the DP has challenged the NCIC to hate speech mongers are arrested ahead of the 2022 election.
In his series of political meetings and campaigns, Deputy President William Ruto today camped in Nakuru County after holding a meeting in Murang'a County in the morning. Ruto took a swipe at the BBI brigade led by ODM leader Raila Odinga, where he insisted that there is no need to expand the government through a process he termed a fraudulent.
You do not need an unconstitutional, fraudulent process to have new constituencies in Kenya. Section 89 of the Constitution gives power to IEBC to delineate constituencies. If genuinely you wanted extra constituencies, you should have constituted IEBC in good time. You should have given them money to delineate the constituencies. We would have new constituencies in Kenya. This BBI project was a fraudulent, unconstitutional, null and void program. It doesn't deserve any mention in the Republic of Kenya.
So now you are going round, full of deceit and dishonesty, telling Kenyans in various regions that you lost 9 constituencies, for example in Nakuru, because of BBI. BBI was a fraud. The only thing that BBI was to Mr. Uhuru and Mr. Raila was to create an imperial presidency. Ilikuwa inataka umpatia rais upepari.
Speaking when he met small-scale traders and Nakuru residents, Ruto and his allies condemned ODM boss Raila Odinga's meetings, which they alleged might be the source of chaos come next year, now calling upon NCIC to be on the lookout.
It pains me, Your Excellency, nikiona watu wameungana ati ni matajiri na wale watu wanaita partners yao ni Jenga Mungai, spewing hatred, spewing politics of ethnic profiling and ethnic hate. And I want to challenge none other than President Uhuru Kenyatta himself. Kana himself. Wewe Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, ni wewe ulituambia utakomesha siasa ya ukabila na uchochezi wa ukabila. You have no other legacy, President Uhuru Kenyatta, other than to leave Kenya a united nation as you found it when Mwai Kibaki handed over a peaceful and united nation to you. There is no other legacy we want from you.
The Tanga Tanga Brigade says it's on a mission to make the country better through the hustler and bottom-up economic approach, which according to Ruto will better the Big Four agenda which they started with President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Program ya Big Four. Nataka niwaambie Mungu ametusaidia. Iyo Big Four sasa tutaitekeleza ndani ya bottom-up economic model, na tutahakikisha ya kwamba yale malengo tulikuwa nayo tutayafikia, and we will even surpass the program and the heights we wanted to reach.
Pesa ya budget ambayo inakuja kwa constituencies ama kwa counties, with or without BBI, if we have the goodwill, then we can have our counties have more money ya kufanya maendeleo mashinani. Kwa hivyo tusidanganye ya kwamba ati bila BBI hatuwezi pata hiyo vitu.
Alisema the political conversation in this republic will change. Imechange ama haijachange? Sasa nani wako kwa meza wanaongelea haya maneno? Si nyinyi hustlers?
The series of meetings seemingly the beginning of political meetings ahead of 2022. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47.
Thank you, Elizabeth Mutuko, for that political report. Now it's time to take a very fast short break. We will be right back with more. Stay tuned.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful in what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, The Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and then gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
What we are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a restaurant, animation industry, artistry, or even fitness. Just like the sweet and sour taste of lemons, businesses have their highs and their lows. Join me, Violet Njoki, on the grind as business entrepreneurs tell us the tales of their business every Monday at 7:30 p.m.
Our version of Kilimo Diaries is different. Crops, livestock, all working together. Everything has a purpose, from land preparation, management, and not forgetting the market space. No farmer puts down his tools, and neither do we. Your Farmer's Daily Diary with Sandra Wahito every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend. Now, still on political matters, as ODM party leader Raila Odinga today pitched tent in Bungoma County to woo residents ahead of the 2022 elections. Addressing mourners in Sirisia constituency, Raila accused Deputy President William Ruto of misleading Kenyans using his hustler narrative.
Addressing mourners in Sirisia constituency, Bungoma County, during the burial of mother to Sirisia politician Moses Nandalwe, Margaret Nandalwe, Odinga accused Deputy President William Ruto of lying to Kenyans, saying his bottom-up approach model is not attainable.
Watapewa laptop ati uchumi ya kisasa. Hao vijana wanakwenda sasa kufanya mtihani ya O-level. Alafu naambiwa ati hao wakimaliza utapewa wilbaro. Wilbaro utafanya naye nini kama wewe uko na nini? Tunataka vijana wetu wafanye kazi ya maana ambayo inawezesha wao kutoka katika hali ya ufukara. Mko tayari? Vijana mnaunga mkono? Kabisa. Mnaunga mkono?
Governors and members of parliament who were present threw their weight behind Raila Odinga's 2022 presidential bid, saying that he's the right person to lead the country.
Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, unajua ya kwamba kule pwani magavana wote, hata Kingi, hata Mvure, hata nani, sisi tunaongea kule chini. Sote tunakuunga mkono. Na nilipokuja hapa kusikia Oparanya yuko, Wangamati yuko, hata wale wengine wanarukaruka huko tunajua ni vimbwembwe zao peke yake, lakini wote. I'm sure Baba, you've climbed the mountain up to the mountain top and you've seen the promised land. We are here to tell you, Baba, we will go with you to that mountain top. And when you reach there, Baba, do not forget us.
Tuko na imani, and we are going to vote man to man, kuhakikisha unakuwa the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Wakenya wamekubali, Wakenya wote wamekubali, ni wewe unaenda kuwa rais.
If we do that, we'll have a say in whatever government that comes up on the 8th of August 2022. Siwezi kusahau mkoa ya Western. Mimi siwezi kusahau pande yote ya Kenya kimaendeleo.
As political leaders continue to realign themselves ahead of the 2022 elections, KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli has asked the One Kenya Alliance leaders to realign themselves with Raila to ensure they form the next government.
Nikawaambia after 2022, if all of you will not be in the government, 2027 you will be irrelevant. Wengine wakachukua vizuri, wengine wakachukua makosa.
Kama sisi tuungane pamoja, miaka hii ijayo hatutakuwa na Saudi. Hatutakuwa na Saudi yoyote kwa mambo ya kisiasa na mambo ya maendeleo. Mpaka tuje pamoja.
Atwoli says that political leaders from the Western region will meet on 31st December this year to deliberate on their next move.
Tarehe 31 Disemba mwaka hii, pale tutasema tunaenda, hapo ndio sisi tutaenda. Na tunatengeneza technical committee ambayo tutakutana Jumapili kwanza kujua mambo ya demands zetu.
Now, cracks have emerged within the leadership of the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, in Trans Nzoia County following efforts to have Saboti MP Caleb Amisi to take over from Patrick Musungu as the county chairman. Our reporter Boniface Baraza reports.
According to the party's constitution, grassroots election can only be held after 5 years. Therefore, the clamor for change in the county might create divisions within the party owing to the presence of two antagonistic camps that are wrangling over the chairman position.
Mheshimiwa Caleb alikuwa anataka hii kiti yangu. Akanipigia simu, akasema watu wamesema wanataka nichukue hiyo kiti yako. Mimi nikamwambia hii haina matatizo hata kidogo. Kuja tukae chini na komiti yangu ya watu 20, alafu tutengeneze hiyo maneno. Mimi nilimuita aje. Kesho yake nakuja kuambiwa Caleb amesema lazima awe chairman kwa sababu order imetoka Nairobi. Nairobi hawachagui mtu Trans Nzoia. Hao wanapokea nani amechaguliwa.
Ombi letu headquarter ikubaliane na huo uamuzi na isaidiane na kaunti yetu ya Trans Nzoia kuhakikisha tunatiliwa viti mingi vya ODM hapo within Trans Nzoia.
A faction that is led by the current chairman Patrick Musungu recently held a meeting to have him endorsed to retain the seat in a move geared towards deflating a plan to have him dropped. The Orange Party's secretary in the county, John Simiyu, rubbished the endorsement.
Uteuzi wowote uko na masharti ambayo unastahili kuzingatia na kufuata. So exercise ya jana ilikuwa an exercise in futility, hautambulike mahali popote kisheria. So wanachama wako watulivu, tutaita mkutano siku nyingine. Wanachama ambao wanastahili kuhusika katika nafasi hiyo na tutaweza kuwapatia nafasi ya kutoa uamuzi wao katika hiyo nafasi ya wenyekiti.
Those who are drumming support for Saboti Member of Parliament Caleb Amisi feel he will inject in some new blood owing to his role as a Member of Parliament.
Ukienda maeneo mengine utapata ya kwamba viongozi ama chairman kwa county ni watu ambao wana ile hadhi katika jamii. So sisi kama watu wa ODM tumefurahia kuja kwa Caleb Amisi na tunaunga mkono 100%.
Mbunge akiwa ndio mwenyekiti katika sehemu hii ya Trans Nzoia na awe anaongea na kinara wa ODM ambaye ni Raila Odinga moja kwa moja, basi sisi tutakuwa na uwezo mkubwa katika Trans Nzoia kuweza kupata ushindi zaidi.
Come 2022 tunahakikishia wananchi wa Kenya
Baba yetu Raila Amolo Odinga ndio president wetu ambaye anaenda kukuwa president wa 5 katika nchi hii.
The orange in the region might get bitter if proper mechanism are not put in place to reconcile the two camps. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
Thank you, Baraza, for that intricate and clamor of change report. Now, the National Council of NGOs has today launched a peace campaign that is aimed at sensitizing Kenyans on how to become peace ambassadors as the country heads to the general elections. The National Council of NGOs, led by its national chairman, called on the youth to remain focused on uniting the nation.
We were also here to relaunch a peace process that we started some few days ago, and we are reaching out to all Kenyans to sign for peace and to commit for peace. As a council and members across the country, we are heading to a very crucial year as a country for general election, and we are telling people, let us uphold peace and keep peace together as a nation.
To preach for peace. Tunaomba Wakenya wetu wakati mahali tunaenda sasa ni wakati wa campaign. Na campaign inahitaji tuombe all our leaders, our youths and our women tuweze kufanya election yetu with peace. Na vile tunaona mambo inaenda, nataka kuomba our youths ukae chini, uchakue yule leader unaona anaweza.
Now that peace awareness campaign report takes us for yet another short break. We will be right back with more.
Ability is common in everyone. Those abled differently also have immense ability.
Maybe we are not good in both, but we can be good in life.
They reach beyond the limits in their special, different way.
If the society can just be careful in what they call them and how they refer to them, that would at least be better.
They need to be loved. They have feelings. They would like to give love. It's a natural thing.
Catch their story on Beyond the Limit on TV47 every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
The brain does not exactly know how to differentiate physical pain from the psychological.
Nilikuwa na feel nimefeel hata watoi wangu.
This month, our sisters, mothers and friends share their heartfelt stories of the pain and struggles with Joy Irongo.
We are all about being authentic and sharing our lifetime experiences to speak hope and empower a woman who's probably going through a rough patch.
Join us as we unravel the heartache.
So the doctor told me she has only 2 weeks to live.
Mimi nilikaa tu miezi 2 tu nikiwa na furaha kwa ndoa.
Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Are you looking to buy a home? Or are you looking to build one, yet you don't know where to start? Well, the Realtor is your home of real estate development information, whether you are looking to invest in the city or outside the city. We link you with the experts in the field, be it designing.
We have also a very nice lighting and gypsum decoration on the top of the ceiling.
Roofing.
When you involve a professional in your construction, there is a difference. Project that has been delivered by a professional person and a project that has not been delivered by a professional person.
Interiors.
We are trying to go is for a mix of European and Middle Eastern look.
Everything all under one roof. Join us every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m.
Any waste stream in our society can be turned into a revenue stream. Basically, turning lemons to lemonade. It could be a...
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend. Now, our beliefs and tradition as a country about gender are really strong and at times sticky. While men are more likely to embrace the idea of gender equality, they are still skivers when it comes to household work. However, things are different in Embu County, where men have decided to cooperate with their wives and are now assisting in household chores.
We are in Ishara, Mbeere, North Embu County. The beauty of the rising sun interrupts our journey, at least briefly. We have arrived at the home of Moses Njiru at Kadhune village, Mbeere North. Moses is busy with the household chores. And believe it or not, this is the new normal in this village. Men taking up jobs that were initially thought to be women's job. It is Moses' turn to wash clothes and cook while his wife cleans the house.
Aibu huwa nasema, ukiona kuna aibu ni kifua, usivulie bibi yako.
Inaonekana kwamba huyu mwanamke hana nidhamu kwa sababu kumfanya mwanamume yake avue nguo kama yeye ako karibu na yeye, hiyo ni kukosea huyo mwanamume na kuwa yeye hana nidhamu hata kidogo.
Mabwana wanafaa wafanye kazi kama za shamba hivi, lakini sisi wanawake tunafaa tufue nguo. Mbona uachie bwanako afue nguo?
His wife is not through with sweeping and Moses decides to clean the dishes to save time. Moses is a good cook as well. When his wife is caught up with other household chores, Moses cooks delicious meals for the family.
Kwa sasa mapenzi yangu kifamilia iko sawa kabisa. Hata najifunia kuwa na bwana kama huyu.
Wamekaliwa. Huko ni kukaliwa huko.
Kando na hayo, ana uzoefu wa kupikia familia yake chakula kitamu. Hata nikikupikia chapati utafikiria ni mwanamke amekupikia. Hiyo sasa hiyo njuzi ya kufua. Mimi mbeleni nilikuwa tu naweka nguo kwa karai, naweka sabuni, mimi naenda.
Kama ni kitchen alikuwa anaamka, hata anaweza amka mbele yangu na shindo ametoka kwenda wapi, kube ameenda kutayarisha chai.
Wakati mwanamke ako hapo karibu na bwanae na bwana awe ndiye anapika badala ya huyu mwanamke awe ndiye anampikia, hapo hiyo ni kosa kubwa sana.
They all go to the forest to fetch firewood.
Kama si mgonjwa ama hana hatia ya ugonjwa fulani na mwanamume ndiye anamkatakatia kuni, anampikia hata kule jikoni, huko ni kuonyesha huyu mwanamume ameweshwa na huyu mwanamke.
Hakuna mambo ya kusave time pale, kuna jambo limeenda mkombo. Na nakwambia hata toboa, ngoja mwishowe huyu mwanamume anajifanya anamsaidia mwana bibi yake. Mwishowe hii amejitolea kufanya ndiye tawaangusha.
The two have been inseparable ever since they got married.
Singeweza kumtuma eti nimpatie ID yangu haende pale pale haweze kutoa pesa. Hata hakuwa anajua huwa analipwa mshahara wa pesa ngapi. Na pia mimi sikuwa najua anapata pesa ngapi.
Nilinunua plot ya 1.2 million. Na ndio niliona hiyo ni achievement ya hali ya juu kwa vile nilikuwa najichukua kama maskini.
Ni kukosa mwelekeo. Na hii dunia ya Kenya ama kama kaunti yetu ikiendelea hivyo, hautaona mzee ako na mboma. Utaona kijana ako na mboma.
The same situation is replicated in many homes here. Some few kilometers from Moses, we meet Geoffrey Moragori and his wife. The two are peeling potatoes.
Mimi nimechoka viazi, hata nafurahia sana. Nafurahia sana kwa sababu sijakaliwa. Mapenzi kwa kitanda iko sawa.
Wewe ni mwanaume Mwafrika, utakuwa sasa ile maadili ya kufuatilia kazi ya mwanamke nyumbani na mwanaume nyumbani haiji.
Muraguri also enjoys doing household chores when his wife is busy fetching firewood. You'll find him in the kitchen.
Unaona hiyo kitu ile mazao tunapata, majirani ile mazao wanaona tunapata, wanaona ni mazao mingi.
The residents have attributed this to the Upper Tana Water Service program that trained them on how to save time. Eshiara Chief David Mugo also took part in the training, and he tells us due to the training, cases of domestic violence have gone down drastically.
Hii mradi ya Patana imesaidia pakubwa sana eneo la hii area yangu kupunguza visa vya vita nyumbani na pia kosa kuelewanwa katika familia.
Sa quick gender mainstreaming methodology. It starts at the household level. We have seen transformation in some families where you find a man was a drunkard, but when he sees the neighbors who have been practicing the girls' methodology in the household, then they see it's a very quick way of bringing resources together and achieving their visions.
Teresia Gotv, a sociologist, explains how this transformation project aims to transform a large percentage of the Mbeere North population. However, the elders in Embu County seem to be unhappy with the latest trend in the area, saying it goes against the culture.
Empowerment map, leadership empowerment map, sasa hiyo ndio watu wanasema wale watu watafikia. Kwa hivyo tukifuatilia tunaenda tukiangalia mtu amefikia watu kama wangapi, na wale watu wamefikia nao wanaanza kuimplement kwa mboma, ndio sasa kutoka hapo waweze kuenda kwa wale wengine.
Si ati kwa sababu mwanaume anataka bibi afanye kazi hizo. Kuna zile mabibi wanaweza na wanafanya, wanajisikia, wanajifunia wakifanya. Apewe nafasi afanye yale yake.
I'm not sure if many are willing to leave their cultural practices. Question is, should the rest of Kenyans embrace?
Indeed, those men are indeed blessing us. You know, we've seen that men can do what women can do as well, bridging the gender gap on household chores. It is indeed a beautiful report. And now, moving on, members of the Shona ethnic community held celebrations to mark a year of their status as Kenyan citizens after decades of being stateless. Josh Ansari with the details.
This was the mood of Shona community at Central Park here in Nairobi. The community that lives in Kinoo, Kiambu County marked their first anniversary after they were recognized as the 46th tribe in Kenya.
Finally, the journey that we began around 4 or 5 years ago, immediately I was elected, we embarked on this journey. These are people I know very well. We have grown up with them. I have seen their children only reaching to a certain level of education and then dropping out from school because they don't have birth certificates, their parents don't have identification card, they have no any document, and so they cannot proceed on.
Jani yenu, marehemu Mzee Jomo Kenyatta alitambua kwa nyinyi ni wa Kenya, lakini hakuweza kumaliza kazi yake. Na sasa kijana yake ndio amekuja na akamaliza kazi ya babake, na amewapatia haki yenu kama wa Kenya.
The process of recognizing the Shona community took 5 years until last year when Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i declared the Shona community as part of Kenya's larger community.
We live together as a community. Actually, if we would wear the same, you wouldn't distinguish between a Shona and a Kikuyu or a Luo or a Kamba. We are the same people, and so we are very much happy because of the step that our country has taken towards eradication of statelessness.
Also moving forward, we are also going to work with other communities like the Rwanda community who are also stateless, and we are also already in the process of documentation. So we hope by September, by the end of October, we'll have also done with the process of documentation, and therefore again take the documents back to the Minister of Interior for them now to review, to vet, and then now accord them citizenship.
This community that originated from Zambia and Zimbabwe made its way to Kenya as missionaries and later settled in Kenya land among the Agikuyu community in Kinoi in 1960s. Zimbabwe ambassador to Kenya, Winpeg Moyo, has applauded President Uhuru Kenyatta for granting citizenship to the Shona community.
Once again, I want to really thank President Uhuru and his government, everybody who worked to have this to fruition. I want to thank you. Asante sana, we really appreciate. This is one very much, it shows humanity, it shows oneness. So thank you so much.
Looking forward to the day that Zimbabwe will also have dual citizenship. Mukishapata passports yenu, mufanye hiyo safari na mutambulike hata huko ili muwe na citizenship ya nchi mbili. Sasa si ndio itakuwa mabariku mzukubwa zaidi.
Joash Onsare, TV 47, Nairobi.
It is indeed a stoked moment for the Shona community as their recognition gains momentum. Moving on, senior citizens in Busia County are calling on the government to increase their monthly stipend to caution them from the harsh economic times. Catherine Wembley with the details.
As the elderly gathered in Amukura, Busia County for screening by medical personnel, their key concern was the elderly fund. The senior citizens say the 2,000 shillings allocated by the government is not enough to cater for their needs.
Ile shilingi 2,000 ambayo tunapewa, hata hiyo kupatikana ni ngumu. Unamaliza miezi 6 bila kupata.
Meanwhile, a widows group in Maragua, Murang'a County is asking for help to fight back against grabbing of family property by their family members following their husband's demise. The group members say the widows do not have resources to fight for property ownership, leaving them defenseless.
Barakini saba ile iko ya nyumbani ya mzee, mimi si samba. Nilinyang'anywa na wale wengine malikuwa manasaliwa niwa na hiyo bwana yangu. Sasa hiyo si sida.
Wamama wananyang'anywa mashamba na haswa mali ile urithi. Lazima mama abaki akitetea urithi ambaye amewachiwa na mzee wake.
Ahadi Kenya Trust Executive Director Stanley Kamau has appealed to the government to provide free